guys. Well, let's go ahead. It is 10 o'clock on the dot. We are going to dive in. Dan is going to lead us today. We're going to
What?
do some TE training. Um, Fingers crossed. We have a little bit of a spring market. I know some of you guys, it's great to see the increased activity kind of across the board. And so I want to make sure you guys are fully prepared to support your realtor partners, leveraging the opportunities that are in Total Expert currently. So I'm going to turn it over to Dan and let him steal the show.
Awesome. My favorite thing. Thank you, Courtney. I appreciate it. Um, Good morning, everybody. It really is great to see you all, or to see your headshots, or to see your cartoon with you and a cool dog. Which I've always wanted to know if that dog exists. If anyone knows, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. So I'm going to be today. We're going to be focusing on Total Expert, everyone's favorite CRM, and I really, it's Courtney had asked if, hey, is there anything we want to talk about? And I had been having a conversation with one of our newer LOs around Total Expert. I just think that Total Expert as a whole is very powerful, um, yet underutilized. And I, we've heard feedback about maybe it being a little cumbersome and things like that, a little difficult to learn. And so I was like, all right, let's two birds or three birds with one. Let's kill a bunch of birds with some stones, and have a conversation around Total Expert, where we kind of go through it a little bit. We look at what it has to offer, and then basically how can we utilize that to help some of our realtor partners and referral partners this spring. And so I want to. I'm going to share my screen here. And I may ask if I can borrow someone's account, but I think for the time being we should be okay. What screen is it showing? Wrong screen. Dang, come on.
It always happens.
Yeah, what are we doing? What are we doing? Let's see. Window. No, here. Okay. I'll drag it over. You want to be difficult teams? I'll play with you. All right, here we go. So everyone can see Total Expert right now, I would hope.
Mhm.
All right, great. So, hey, Ken. So,
What's happening?
and Ken, just in advance, would it be okay if I use your Total Expert for some examples?
Absolutely.
Oh, you're the man. All right. So obviously, this is Total Expert when you first come in. So, the spring market, hopefully, knock on wood, is here and around the corner, and coming and warming up. And there are some tools that we have here in Total Expert where you can help your agents market open houses, get the word out. And I want to just kind of talk through some of that with you, and what you're able to offer them, and how we might be able to utilize that to build a relationship with them, and hopefully help them sell a house or two. So the first thing here is, we talk about co-marketing partners quite a bit. Oh, I'm still in mine. Courtney, I'm like, why are you and I Ken's co-marketing partners? Um, so so co-marketing partners, it's obviously something you're all out there co-marketing with people often, and working together. But in terms of Total Expert, it's actually like a distinction or a designation. And basically what you're doing is you're actually offering a seat to a realtor. So you're inviting them to come into Total Expert, and they can actually use the CRM as their CRM. And so it's funny. I feel like that's common knowledge, or something that we've talked about before. But every so often I have conversations with LOs who have even been here for a while, where they're like, wait a minute. So you're saying I can actually give them access to it, like give them a CRM? It's like, yeah, if they're just working on spreadsheets and they want a little bit more of a sophisticated system, you can get them into Total Expert themselves. And now all of a sudden they're able to use it on their own, and we're able to help them. We, meaning marketing, are able to help them by building out co-marketing journeys for you and them, build out different ways for them to automate and get the word out and stay in front of their potential buyers, while also having your beautiful face and name there on those emails as well, and getting them getting you some exposure, and just kind of strengthening that relationship with them. But even if they don't want to do that, even if they're like, look, I have a CRM, or I'm good, I'm not going to use that. You know your realtor partners better than I do. By getting them in here, it opens up a lot of options for you and what you can give them, and how quickly you can get things done. So to invite someone in, again, if you're at your dashboard, you come over here to co-marketing partners, invite new connections, and if they are a connection of yours already, like if they are in your system, you'll be able to type their name in and just choose them, or you can put in their email address, whichever one, and then you would hit next. Once you do that, once you send it to them, the only step they have to take is they have to opt in. Now, okay, here's barrier number one, or roadblock number one. I've heard so many of you, and I've seen with my own eyes, like invitations sent out, and it says like waiting to accept, or or pending acceptance. They're not in yet, and that can be really frustrating. I was talking actually with Dawn. If everyone could say hi to Dawn Miller, who's one of our newest LOs, and like one of the nicest people I've ever met already. So what I was talking with Dawn, what I suggested with her is like, the best thing to do is like, so Ken's on the phone with someone like, hey, I have a great way for us to co-market open houses. I have some tools that I can use, make it really simple for you so you don't have to do it. Does that sound good to you? Yeah, great. All right, what's your email again? Blah 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 blah. Great. I just sent you an invite. Do you mind just going? All you have to do is, if you just go on and hit accept, right, and create that account, I can take the rest for you. You don't even have to worry about it. And so like that, I think, is a way around that very simple, normal human block of they just don't do it. Oh, I didn't see the email. Oh, I didn't, all these. Oh, did it go to my junk file? I'll check my junk. And then it's like, you don't hear. And now it's like not worth pursuing. But it's like, if you're on the phone with them, you just, cool, you see it? Oh, great. All right, click that link. Yep, just give yourself a password. All right, you're good. You don't have to do the rest if you don't want to. I can take it from here. So what do I mean I can take it from here? Well, as long as they've accepted, you or we or whoever can go in and edit this profile. So as soon as I, dpcooley18 at gmail.com, accepted this, Princeton Mortgage, the fake LO account here, would have been able to go in, add my headshot, add my name, add my information, add the logo for my office, everything, right? And so while I'm not trying to add more work for you, it's a great little value add. It doesn't take a lot of time, and obviously, look, at the end of the day, marketing is here if you need help with anything. But being on the phone with them and getting them to sign up is step one. And if you could just get past that one little hurdle, it opens up a lot of things. So to that effect. So what can we do? It's spring season. They have an open house coming. The first thing that comes to mind is flyers, right? So this is where I will switch to Ken. Mr. Jordan. You're top of my list always, Ken. Metaphorically and literally. All right. So we come over here, and here's all our different flyers. Now, one thing that we've heard a lot is like, hey, listen, I try to look for an open house flyers. You don't have any. And in the past, what we've had to do is be like, oh, you know what? You actually have to type in listing, and they come up. Now we're actually working through a cleanup of TE, and I figured out actually this morning how to fix this for us. Right, the search goes based on the name. So if it says listing in the name, that's where it's going to come out. But if you're looking for something else, there's also over here this tag drop down, and if in the tag drop down you type in open house, our open house flyers will pop up for you. Okay, so tags over here or type in listing. Either way, and soon you'll be able to type in open house, but either way, you're able to come and get to these flyers. Now, again, what was the significance of them signing up? So, well, let me pause. Does this make sense so far? Does getting them into a co-marketing relationship with you make sense so far? Does anyone have any questions around this? Or does anyone see an issue, like, a roadblock I'm not thinking about?
I have a question.
Miss Dolan.
I'm sorry. I'm getting to the end of having COVID, so I'm not
how you
on
feeling? I'm so
screen.
sorry.
It's I'm living.
Okay,
So
well, there you go.
is there any way that there could be a table of content for these?
Oh, interesting question. So walk me through that a little bit. When you say table of content, do you mean something like when you first come into flyers, something on the side where it's like the different, like here's open house ones, here's this, here's that.
Yes.
Yep. That's a great question. Courtney, unless you happen to know the answer, I'm not sure about that, but I would love to check in with Total Expert on that. It's a good idea.
Yeah, agreed. Nikki, I think that's a great idea. I don't know. On the left-hand side where it says like all print flyers, direct mail postcards, I wonder if we could add more categories there.
Yeah, great question.
But that's a great takeaway, Nikki. I do love that suggestion. So we can talk to TE about that.
Yeah, we'll look into that, Nikki. That's a really good idea.
Because sometimes I don't think of the word like listings, like
right.
Every group has its own jargon.
Yeah, that's a great point. Brett.
Yes, two quick questions. Because I definitely don't use TE to the fullest extent. When we are sending that person out that consent to create an account, are we also sending them a password so that they can log in?
When they go to sign up, Brett, the step that it goes through is like they click it, like, do you want to accept? Yes. Set your password, and then at that point they are now in and able to sign in themselves. Really, really good question. And you had a second one?
Yeah, on these flyers, these listing flyers, I do agree with Nikki that there needs to be an easier way to sort them. But however, are we able to customize them to the house that the person is specifically listing or open housing?
You know what, Brett? It's like I asked you to ask that question. Yes, you absolutely can. And so let's go through that together really quick. So when you go to the open houses here, and actually pausing real quick, there's these folders also. I wonder if we could play with those. We'll dig into it more, Nikki, but I think that's a really cool idea. But okay, so let's say you're looking at these. If you click on them, you can get a preview of like the general vibe of them. And let's say you're like, all right, I like this one. More photos, kind of bigger, double-sided. But I'll go with this normal one. So you select this one. All right, now, first thing, color scheme. You can play with these. Obviously, Princeton blue, so bright blue or dark blue is what I would recommend doing. But you can kind of click either of these. You would then click a co-marketing partner. Ken, does it matter who I choose? Maybe Susie King?
Yeah, anyone is fine, yeah.
Awesome. All right. Oh, no, so this is the cool thing. Like when you put someone in, if they have a listing, they will automatically pop up here.
This is so long as they fill out their profile completely. Like some of the profiles, like there's some non-mandatory fields that they don't have to fill out, but if they don't fill them out, some of this functionality is not great.
Excellent point, Ken. Yeah, and thank you for that. That's right. So let's say Susie, and let's say this is not the listing. Like, cool, that's a good one, but she's spreading out into New Jersey. She has an awesome house here in New Jersey that she's putting on the market. Actually, right here in beautiful Ewing, New Jersey, this gorgeous house. And we're going to select that. So, all right, so what have we done? We chose the color scheme. We chose the co-marketing partner, in this case, Susie King. We chose the user profile. It's kind of funny that I can choose anyone, so I don't think this will actually be available to you. If it is, please send a ticket in so I can remove your functionality. But so here's Ken Jordan. And then they'll ask for the MLS. You put that in. They'll ask for the state. Okay, great. We're good to go. You hit select. And now you're going to hit customize and publish. Now, so right off the bat, you can see it's pulled everything in, right? It's pulled in our logo, Susie's logo, both headshots, everyone's information is all right here. And you get to kind of look at the light blue. Maybe you don't like it, you could always go back. In terms of the photos, you get to decide which photos are here. So if you click on them, it will show every photo from the listing that you can go through. So what'll often happen is and not often, every single time you'll see it here, is it shows the first 4 photos, right? But we don't want to just, Ken, do you have a question?
Yeah, I don't know if this is new or not, or if it's just been a while since I did an open house flyer, but my understanding was that they could only do open house flyers for properties that were in the inventory of the agent, which made it difficult because if the agent's hosting an open house for a property that they're not the official listing agent, I didn't realize we could put any agent on any property, which I think is huge.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to see they fixed that, or you know what I mean. But yes, you absolutely can. You absolutely can. That's great. Yeah, thank you for pointing that out, Ken. And I mean, the cool thing about Total Expert too, I think, like, you know, the way we think about it, just because it's our CRM, we're using it as like it's this thing, this finished product. But I will say, having worked with their team quite a bit, they're constantly asking for feedback and trying to make changes. And so it sounds like they got some and they made some. Andrew.
Let me lower my hand. Okay. So I'm following you here, and it's a little hard to read the tiny little drop down, words. But is this Susie King's listing, or is this another
It's
property?
not. I found so this actually maybe even the better point. So Ken, I appreciate you bringing this up, and Andrew, I appreciate you furthering it because I think it's important. I, just to prepare for this training, found a random house that is that is listed, right?
You found it before the training.
That's right. So I went
Okay.
and I went to, I Googled like houses for sale near me. I'm in the office, so Ewing houses came up. Found one that looked nice. I mean, come on, look at this beautiful deck. It's so nice and snowy. And then I found the MLS number, and I put it in, and I put the state in. So as soon as you do that, you can pull up the information.
Okay, because I was watching, and then when Ken voiced his question, it kind of blew me away. Can you show me where you put that MLS again?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it. All right. So if I'm going to go back to Flyers, this is good actually. It's like repetition. So you're in Flyers. You go to tags, type in open house. It gets weird for a minute, and then you type in open house again. You click open house. You choose whichever flyer you want. You hit select, and then again you're going to do color. You're going to hit the color or bright blue. You're going to do the co-marketing partner, in this case Susie King. It will be you, and then here it says MLS. You're going to add that in, and then just make sure it's the correct state, and then hit search, and then it'll come right up. You hit select and customize and publish.
Okay. I need to play with this after this call, but you typed in open house. I thought you said listing was the keyword.
Really, really, no. So great point. So what we're trying to do is make it as simple as possible. Listing is, if you're use the little search bar, type in listing, and I'm going to make some edits that will hopefully also allow for you to type in open house. But there's also a little drop down that says tags, and if you drop that down, you type in open house, it's tagged as an open house flyer. So that's the confusion there. But I encourage you to. I mean, guys, honestly, if you're in front of your computer and you feel like it, pull up Total Expert now and kind of follow along as I'm doing it, and play with it. I think I really do believe that while Total Expert, I get it. Like the first time I came in, I remember 3 years ago being like, I don't want to mess anything up. I don't know what I'm doing. Like it really just took that time in there. But now I do feel pretty competent and confident in there. And yes, I've spent a lot of time, trying to get good at it. But I think I think anyone could if they just take a little time and play around with it. And to another thing you said, Andrew, real quick about the size of it. If you come up here and hit this little plus, this little bar over, you can make it nice and big for yourself. So again, you can choose any photo you want. So maybe you want the first photo to be this beautiful shot here. Maybe you want this one to be the actual house so people could see what it looks like, but you just didn't want the cars to be the biggest seller.
Hey, Dan,
yo,
are you allowed to upload? So I'm just thinking, like, is there a way to utilize custom QR codes in these flyers? Like if a QR, whether the QR codes for our contact information or the QR codes to a mortgage calculator or something like that. Is there a way to upload an image, one of our images?
Really good question. All right, so not officially, as in there's not like a place for it on here designated already. However, these photos you can choose any photo you want. Technically, I have
That's
no
what I
idea
was
who this
thinking.
lady is, for instance. So if you want to upload a QR code, and put it, put it right here as the third photo, you absolutely could do that. The question then just would be, from a design standpoint, how does it look, right? But yeah, yeah, you absolutely could.
That's
Another
awesome.
option would be, if you, let's say you did this and and we'll get to this in a minute, you make it a PDF. Now it's done, right? You can go print it, but you really want, hey, I need that QR code somewhere nice. I need it to look nice. Like I need help. You could then send this into marketing and say, guys, can you add my QR code to this? Here's the flyer. Here's my QR code. Can you find a way to make this pretty? And then we would just have to figure out, like, hey, do we put it right here, down low? Do we cover Ken's face with it? Like, we can make that decision. So, all right. So you can upload these photos, make them whatever you want. All right. I feel good about this. I like these photos. Now, with a lot of these listings, and me and Dawn were laughing about it yesterday. She was saying down in Alabama, this is not as much of a problem, that they keep their descriptions nice and short and to the point, which I got a good laugh out of. But up here in the north, we like our words, okay? We like big, long descriptions about our properties. And so, what happens is this uploads the whole thing, but it obviously gets cut off. As you can see, as I'm going up and down, it's moving. So what you can do is you can edit this however you want. You can write your own thing if you wanted. Okay. You can write whatever you want. You can do whatever. So maybe it's about the property is important to you, or maybe you're like, you know what, they're going to know it's about the property. They're looking at a flyer of the property. What else would it be about? And so, I'm on a different screen. All of a sudden my screens are blowing up. But you can, like, get rid of this, right? Bring this up. Okay. And then maybe you're like, all right, you know what? I wanted to, family dinners, back porch, peaceful. It's a perfect place to unwind. All right, perfect. That's all that matters for right now. We don't need the rest of it. Or maybe you're like, no, what really is important is all these upgrades. I need to make sure. But you can go into ChatGPT and you're like, hey, take this listing and make it half the size that it currently is. There's 1,000 things that you can do. But if you had to do it quick and you're like, all right, this is good enough. This is good enough. I'm going to have it cut at unwind. And there you go. Charming home, desirable mountain view of Ewing Township. The beautiful mountains of Ewing. Have you been? So you can come in, all of this here. You can actually change the pricing, square footage, beds, bath. Like, let's say you have this, but the price is dropping, and that's why they're doing an open house, because it's a new price point, but it's not updated on the listing yet. You can put that in here. So you can kind of make this. You can even change the name of this. Instead of having the address here, you could have beautiful Ewing, New Jersey mountain home open house, or whatever you want to put. Nikki?
Yes. So hi. I hope I can lower my hand. So I think that I just would like to go back to what Ken said about the QR code.
Sure.
That I think I have a desire to have QR codes on everything. I think it makes things look newer, more timely, helps people get to our pages. So
Totally.
Can we just communicate to marketing that is something that we are looking to have added to everything?
Well, you're definitely communicating it directly to marketing right now, and I'll tell you what, we hear you loud and clear. No, I definitely, all kidding aside, Nikki, I definitely hear you. We have begun adding it to things as we're designing it right now. So I know Jess put together a bunch of designs for new business cards. There's always that thought toward QR codes. It is something in our mind. I know some people, some of our LOs have said, I don't want a QR code. I haven't heard that as much as I want them, so we're obviously leaning more in your direction. But yes, it's definitely something we could do with these flyers, these templates, and we can actually maybe check in with TE, because technically the templates built, are we able to add our own designs as long as we follow their template? But we're not able to edit these. They do unfortunately make it difficult to make certain types of changes. But we'll bring it up to them also. Like, again, it is, you're right. Like, QR codes are in. They're efficient, and they're and everyone kind of knows what they are now. And so Um, I definitely hear you. I would say the immediate fix is if you have a flyer like this and it doesn't have a QR code on it, send it to us. We'll get it on there really quick for you. But yes, I do hear your general note about QR codes with our marketing designs, definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. So, all right. So you have this. Everything looks good. You feel good about it. Susie King's like, Ken, where I need that flyer. You're like, don't worry, I'm coming. So you hit save first draft. Now it just does this to be like, are you sure it looks good? Are you positive? Yes, I'm positive, TE. Thank
No
you.
pictures
You
of toilets.
No toilet pictures, nothing. You hit publish. Now look, this I've heard this, so I'm gonna make a big deal about it. People have called me to be like, I don't want to mess this up. It's saying if I publish, there's no way to edit it. And they get worried that it's like the actual like flyer. Don't be worried about it. They just mean that once this is published, you would have to recreate it if you want to make a change. That's all they mean. So you hit OK. It's going to now bring you to your saved flyer section. This is important because if you make a certain flyer over and over again, I'm going to save you some time. Come over to here, go to print marketing, drop that down, create new saved orders image library, click saved. And every flyer you've ever made is here. So if you're making a certain flyer and you find yourself making it over and over and over again, you can also just come here and re-download it. Now, another thing I hear a lot, when you come to this flyer, oh no, it didn't work. Look, it has Charlie content on it. You know what I mean? Look, it doesn't have me and my partner on it. I totally get it. It is confusing. Don't worry about that. It's just it's just the generated. It's just telling you this flyer is here. The way that you actually see it is you go to actions, generate PDF. Here's another note I'd love to give to TE. I would love it if generate PDF was like right here, like was the button or was a button next to it. I'm sure that would be very hard, but how great would that be if you just had like, click here to download or something. But now here it is. And what you're going to do is you're going to hit save. You're going to name it, Susie King's Ewing Takeover, and you're going to download that. Okay. If you print your own flyers at your house, like if you have a good printer, you could also just print it directly out. But now you'll have the file that you can send to us for a QR code, or you can send out to get printed, and you'll have that. Does anyone have any? I want to move. I know we're running out of time. I want to move on to two other cool things. But is there any last questions on flyer? Because let's be honest, it's what you're going to use the most of all of this. So if anyone has any questions, please, I'm here for it. All right. I am willing and happy to walk through this with anyone in this company. Like I will sit on and let you do it as I watch you to help you so that because once you do it once or twice, it's gonna be easy, like really easy. So don't let that stop you. Definitely don't. All right. Two other things I want to show you. So you're back in your dashboard. Now remember, you have all these links on the side, but for anything marketing, these 9 dots are everything. So always come back to these 9 dots, your quick links. All right. And so the next thing I want to talk to you about are simple property sites. I don't think these are being used enough. Except for by Ken. So I don't think these are being used enough. So here's what it is. And it's pretty cool. Actually, not to call her out, but she had to drop off. Dawn's jaw dropped when I showed her this, which made me feel like, wow, we're pretty cool. We're the best in the world. All right. So what you're going to do is, again, all right, Susie is happy with the flyer, but she wants to share a website for this listing. She wants something where you can capture leads, and she wants something where you can, just that looks really good when she's posting on social media. Great. Put the MLS in here. MLS. I keep wanting to say NMLS. And that's why I keep sounding weird about it. All right. You're going to hit yes. You're going to search it. Boom. There it is. You're going to click it again. And then watch what happens. You click it. It saves the site. It takes a minute. A little gear turny thing happens. And it creates a whole website for you in literally a second. There's all the pictures and all the stuff. It looks fantastic. Okay. And then you're like, all right, well, that's great, but I'm not on there. No problem. No problem, hypothetical person. Come over here, drop down, Ken Jordan. Drop down here, Miss Susie King. Hit add. Hit add. And there you are. We're here to help. let us know if you need anything. Let's say you're like, this is cool, but I don't know if I like this design. I don't know how I feel about this. Whose phone number is this? Ken, is this? That's not you. I wonder if it's Susie or the list. It might be the list. I bet it's the listing. So we'll have to play with that. But let's say you want. All right. I don't like that template. I want to try something different. Cool. We can try different things. Whatever you want. You can make it look. Well, this one looks worse. You can make it look worse. Maybe you don't like your marketing partner that much. You want to make it a little worse. Right? So there are all these styles you can play with. Personally, I like stylish. I like these. I like this up here, these little graphics. Right? Send us some information. All right, now that's cool, Dan. You know, I see it. I get why it's cool, but you know, who cares or whatever. All right, well, first of all, you show this to your realtor partner, they might love it and be like, this is great, I'm gonna start sharing this. We're gonna start collecting leads. You could also have a QR code at the open house itself that leads to this website so people can remember why they loved it so much. Also, once this comes in, these leads automatically get sent to you. And between this and also the other cool thing that I wanted to talk about, which is the lead capture app, which I know is probably used a bit more, we can set it up so that when someone submits, they instantly get added to a co-marketing email journey. Right? So someone comes in, they fill out one of these forms, you know, Dan Cooley, love the house, blah, blah, blah. And they instantly get an email saying, thank you so much for your interest in 123 Fig Street. You know, we'll be with you shortly. And then we can set it up where, you know, half hour later, hey, this is Ken Jordan. Thanks so much for your submission. Really excited to get a chance to work with you. Click this link to get pre-approved now, which is step one. Or, you know, give me a call. Feel free to give me a call or a text at this number, and we'll get the ball rolling for you. And follow-up emails and et cetera, right? So not only does it help you get more pre-approvals, but then it also is like, hey, realtor partner, don't worry about it. We're going to follow up with them. We're going to stay in front of them together. We're going to make sure that they're hearing from us and hearing about the house. And this is value I can add to you, of course, for free because I love you. So this is, again, these special. So does anyone have any questions on the single property sites? Has anyone used one of these before? Except for Ken Jordan. Hey, Ken, have you ever used this feature?
It's not. Look, let's face it. It's not 2013 where this is going to knock their socks off.
Right.
But it is still pretty impressive on how quickly and easily they can get this information. And if you have list reports, there's similar stuff they can get on list reports. I know a lot of photographers right now are kind of utilizing ancillary, you know, product offerings like this for the real estate agents. But the bottom line is, you know, the ease of use is everything. And I think that, you know, it is incredibly simple to create this individual property website so that they can then share it on Facebook, on their social media. And, you know, there's a variety of ways to highlight the property. Maybe they have 4 or 5 individual property websites. Who knows? At the end of the day, exposure is the key. So I do love it. And the agents will too. Don't oversell it, but they'll see the value in it.
Yeah, totally. And to your point, Ken, like even if it's not something that's going to knock their socks off, like it's one of those things where if everyone's looking for the newest, hottest thing, it's like they often what gets left behind, like the things that work, right? And like having a stylish looking website at literally no cost that gets done instantly that you can share and will get in front of people, I think is a cool thing that just should be done. Really good point, Ken. I appreciate it. And then if you click quick links again, the last thing I wanted to show you is our lead capture app. So if you've never used these before, it's great for events, great for open houses. It's a great way to quickly get potential borrower information into your system. And it's something that again, we can connect it to a journey. We can make it so that someone fills it out and they start receiving certain communication from you immediately. And so the one, that we'll be talking about right now is open houses. Now, This one is the only one where it's like you don't put in an MLS, and so we can't generate photos from it, right? We have to actually choose which photo we want to use. So in this case, what I would do is I would go to that listing, I would look at those photos, I would right-click on those photos. Here, I'll share. There we go, Windows. Here we are. So I would go to the listing. I would say, okay, I love this photo. I would right-click on it. I would hit Save Image. If you're on your computer, by the way, and your laptop, and you're like, how do I right-click? What are you talking about? 2-finger click is the right-click. So just click with 2 fingers. Save image. I'm just going to save it as whatever random string of numbers it came up with already. And then you're going to come back over to your you're seeing Total Expert, yes? So we're going to come back over here. We're going to hit this. I have too many screens, guys. That's the problem. Now, all right, so you might run into issues like this. File is too large to upload, things like that. There are kind of quick fixes for these types of things. Again, if you're having a hard time, reach out. I'll be happy to quickly do it for you, but I'm also happy to jump on a call and just show you how to do a quick fix on this. I don't want to take up the time right now. I want to open up to questions and respect your time. But if you run into an issue where the photo that you have is too large, or you run into something, it's the wrong file type, something like that, it can be frustrating. Don't let it knock you off. Just reach out. And again, I could even teach you how to do it, and it's quick. It's not difficult. So I'll just use this photo right now. This beautiful home. And open house, you would name the page TE test page. You can type in a lead source, right? And so the lead source is how we would trigger a journey. So this is important to choose a lead source that's different and unique. So you would want to create a new one. Again, I can help you with any of these. I won't do it to Ken because it could trigger a journey and people will be very confused. Lender, you're going to put Ken Jordan. Agent, you're going to put Susie King. You're going to title the page GE Test. Cool. Save landing page. Page was created, so it's going to bring you back here. You're going to see TE Test page, and now you're going to click View Page to see if it worked out. Right? So here's this beautiful house in the background, the neighborhood. Ken and Susie, information they can fill in, and they can register for their open house. So if you didn't want to do the whole website, but you do want something that you could share with people, you can do this very easily. Does anyone have any questions around this?
Hey,
and then
Dan?
Yes, sir.
So I've been following this. I think it's super cool. I'm at a loss on how to, with what you just shared, with this lead capture app.
Sure.
So an open house, this would specifically be an open house that a realtor would have, and people in the neighborhood would stop by the open house, not a realtor open house.
Correct.
So
yeah, that's how I was thinking of it.
Why would they register? Like to whom would this be something that I would give to a real estate agent and they would push it to people, or?
Yeah, really good question. Really good question. So that would be the thought process, is that it's something that they can push out to people beforehand to give them, hey, register if you're coming. You could also do, have, again, like a QR code or something at the event itself and have them go ahead and fill this out, right? And so it could be something where they're coming in, hey, awesome. Hey, do me a favor, just sign up that you were here, register that you were here, take this picture, give me your name, your phone, email. Are you currently working with someone? Register. So I guess that would be the thought process. For me, I love the single property website more than this. But Ken, you have some thoughts on that?
Yeah, Andrew, I think that for open houses, I wouldn't just do this as a lead capture only. I mean, there's value to the journeys that are going to be built in behind the registration. So if you're at an open house, you basically you say to the agents in collaboration, like, hey, we're going to give you a lead capture device. Anybody that comes to the open house, we ask them to register. A lot of agents do ask buyers that come through their open houses to sign in because they want to know who came through for safety reasons, for marketing reasons, or whatever.
But pen and paper, the old-fashioned way.
Correct. This is the alternative to a pen and paper where they're not just gonna sign in on a pen and paper, they're gonna register, they're gonna sign in electronically. And then and you could probably, I'm assuming there's a way to put something in here that says whether they're working with an agent or not. And if they're not, then it might trigger a campaign, a lead follow-up campaign that's co-branded between you and the realtor to help convert that person that wandered to the open house into a potential buyer. Are you currently working with a real estate professional? If that is checked no, then that would trigger a very simple, maybe 3-day campaign where they get an email from you, an email from or from both of you about that open house. And then the other thing is, guys, don't sleep on this as a tool for RSVPs to happy hours, to events that you're having. You could build out an event follow-up campaign where, like, reminders, hey, after you register, the event's coming up, thank you for RSVPing, can't wait to see you. You can use this for that too. And then you can also build out a campaign for people that were at the event if you use this to register and check people in at the event. So it really is like it's more to it than just, a lead capture so you can get someone's name and phone number.
That's right, Ken. Yeah, thank you. And I think that's an even more powerful use of this, right? So they do have a layout called event registration. You can come in, you change. I would definitely change this photo, but in a world where we're not worried about that right now, Ken, I promise I'll delete these out of your profile. You can come on in. Hey, let's party. Join us at 123 Fake Street for an open house. They put in their information, they hit submit, and to your point, Ken, now they're getting follow-up reminders like, hey, this Tuesday we're going to be at I was trying to pull a bar in Swarthmore, and my brain is absolutely freezing up. But somewhere cool in Swarthmore, come and grab a drink and and network, right? And so you can have this in there, make it super easy for you, and they'll really, really know you're an equal housing lender. Really, not going to worry about that at all. All right, my friends. Does anyone have any follow-up questions? Anything else that they need? Any thoughts, comments, concerns, threats? All right, well, I'm glad it wasn't the last one. I really appreciate you all. Like I said, I am here. We are here for to help walk you through any of this. So if you need help, just reach out. And we'll kind of teach how to do it one-on-one. I really hope that you take the time to play around in TE and to start using it more, because there are all these powerful tools that continue to get better, to Ken's point, and hopefully it'll help build some relationships, close some loans.